What's up guys, my name is Stoody. I'd like to welcome you back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be doing my AFL Round 4 tips for the 2025 AFL season. Before we get into this week's tips, let's go ahead and see how I went last week. So last week I got 7 out of 8 tips correct, which now moves me up to 22 correct tips for the season. So let's see what ones I got correct and what ones I got incorrect. I tipped Port Adelaide to defeat Essendon, however that game was rigged, so that does count as a correct tip. I tipped the Western Bulldogs to defeat Carlton. I tipped St Kilda to rob Richmond. I tipped Brisbane to defeat Geelong. I tipped GWS to defeat Hawthorn, however that game was obviously rigged, disgustingly rigged, so that does count as a correct tip. I tipped Adelaide to defeat North Melbourne, and I tipped Fremantle to defeat West Coast, meaning that the only tip I got incorrect was that I tipped Melbourne to defeat Gold Coast. So let's just move on to round 4. So Thursday night football, again a bullshit Thursday night game. We have Collingwood taking on Carlton at the MCG. I'm going to be tipping Collingwood in this one by 23 points. Carlton, they're no good. No good at all. They just keep losing again and again and again. And, I'm expecting them to be 0-4. I mean, knock knock. And I want you guys to say who's there. And I'm going to say Owen. And I want you to say Owen who? 0-4. That's what Carlton will be after this game. So I've tipped Collingwood by 23 points. I'm expecting Collingwood to get the win. They just had the bye. They'll be fresh. Be coming back after the bye and should go ahead and get the victory against a very bad Carlton team. Moving on to Friday night, we have Geelong taking on Melbourne at GMHBA Stadium. I'm going to be tipping Geelong in this one by 41 points. I mean, who picked such a shit game as a Friday night game? Fucking idiots, but yeah, Geelong should be able to easily get this win. They'll have match fixing on their side. So no excuses here for Geelong. They have all the protection in the world. Melbourne are probably the worst team in the competition, so should be a pretty obvious tip here. Probably the easiest tip of the week, maybe. Moving on to Saturday afternoon, we have Gold Coast taking on Adelaide at Metricon Stadium. Going to win Gold Coast in this one by 1 point. This one can go either way. Adelaide are clearly the better team, but Gold Coast play really well at home. And they somehow have won 2 away games already, which is better than what they did last year, although they have beaten probably the 2 worst teams in the competition. But yeah, just going to Gold Coast because it is at home for them. The safer option, really. But I can easily see Adelaide coming out and teaching Gold Coast a lesson, bringing them back to reality. Because Gold Coast haven't really beaten anyone yet. No one of any significance. So I'm just going Gold Coast. Safe option, really. Moving on to Saturday twilight. We have Richmond taking on Brisbane at the MCG. I'm going to be Brisbane in this one by a rigged amount. I will be going to this game. Richmond home game. So yeah, we'll have good seats this time around. Shouldn't be too many Brisbane ferals around. I mean, where I sit, there's Brisbane ferals aren't allowed anyway. It's only Richmond supporters, so yeah, should be at least not as stressful as last week. I mean, last week wasn't super feral. There was more Richmond fans than St Kilda fans, but there was one feral fuckwit St Kilda fan near me who I would have loved to thrown off the fucking level 3, to be honest. But yeah, if anyone else happens to be going to that game, feel free to message me on Twitter or Discord if you want to meet up or whatever. But yeah, let's just be real. The umpires do everything they can to rob Richmond week in, week out. And I don't see why that would change, especially against a protected species like Brisbane. Brisbane, one of the most protected teams in AFL history. So we're going to get fucked over, everyone knows that. Moving on to Saturday night, we have North Melbourne taking on Sydney at Marvel Stadium. Another pretty obvious one. I'm going to be Sydney in this one by 83 points. North Melbourne are dog shit. Sydney, coming off the bye, they'll be fresh and ready to hand out a flogging So expecting this game to be an annihilation at Marvel, a Marvel massacre. Looking forward to that. Surely Sydney just put North Melbourne to the sword. This is a very easy tip, really. Very easy and obvious. Moving on to Sunday afternoon, we have GWS Giants on West Coast at NG Stadium. Another very, very obvious tip. Probably the easiest tip of the week, actually, this one. I'm going to hit the GWS Giants in this one by 117 points. West Coast, probably the worst team in the league. Complete dog shit. GWS will be pissed off after getting severely fucked over last week. So they'll smash West Coast. A very easy win coming up for the GWS Giants. It's going to be an annihilation, and it's going to be great to watch. Moving on to the other Sunday afternoon game, we have Port Adelaide taking on St Kilda at the Adelaide Oval. I'm going to Port Adelaide in this one by 46 points. St Kilda will be brought back to reality next week against Port. Port will be pissed off after getting robbed against Essendon last week, so they'll be out for revenge, and they usually smash St Kilda at Adelaide Oval anyway, so why would I expect anything different? This week is actually pretty easy for tipping, to be honest. The only difficult game is Gold Coast versus Adelaide. Everything else is pretty straightforward. So yeah, Port will win this one. A very straightforward tip, that one. And moving on to the Sunday twilight game, we have Fremantle taking on the Western Bulldogs at Optus Stadium. Go to Fremantle in this one by 29 points. Fremantle should start to get their season going now. They have a win on the board. Up against the Dogs, who are depleted. So no excuses, especially at home for Fremantle. They should be able to get the job done here. Clearly the better team. Bulldogs are struggling to get players on the park. I mean, still no Bontempelli and all that. So I think Fremantle should be able to go out and get the win at home. And yeah, so that's basically it for my tips for round 4. Feel free to leave your tips in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and comment more content like this. Be sure to become a channel member. Just click the join button next to my name. Also be sure to subscribe to my Premier Kicking Goals of Nick. Link to his channels in the description. Also be sure to subscribe to my other YouTube channels. Be sure to subscribe to my podcast channel, King Snakes of Stoody. Also be sure to subscribe to my second YouTube channel, Stoody Archives. Links to both of those are in the description. Also be sure to join my Discord server, East Coast Australian Sports Community. Link to that is in the description. Also be sure to follow me on my other social media accounts. I have Twitter and also have TikTok. The username for all those is Studio YT. Links to all those will also be in the description. I hope you had a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video.